Hello, I'm Helena, and welcome to Vet Days. Here, we explore the science of veterinary medicine in a simple and engaging way. Today, we will learn about a disease that can occur in a kitten due to the ignorance of pet parents. And we will also learn when a kitten's bones can become brittle, like crystal. Imagine you bring home a tiny kitten, full of energy, curious, playful. You want to give it the best, so you feed it fresh meat every day. Chicken breast, beef heart, a wonderful food that contains a lot of protein. Sounds perfect, right? But a few weeks later, something is wrong. The kitten moves strangely. It stumbles. It cries when you pick it up. And when you take it to the vet and get an X-ray, you see something that's hard to believe. The bones look almost transparent, like they're disappearing. This disease is called nutritional secondary hyperparathyroidism, and it's entirely caused by what's in the food bowl. Nutritional secondary hyperparathyroidism is a metabolic bone disease caused by a chronic imbalance between calcium and phosphorus in the diet. To understand it, we need to talk about two minerals that run the body like a silent partnership: calcium and phosphorus. Calcium is everywhere, in the blood, in muscles, in nerve signals, but its most visible job is building and maintaining bone. About 99% of all calcium in the body is stored in the skeleton. Phosphorus is calcium's counterpart. It also lives in bones, but it's present in almost every cell and plays a key role in energy metabolism. Here's the critical part. These two minerals need to stay in balance. In a healthy diet for cats and kittens, the ideal calcium to phosphorus ratio is about 1.2 to 1. In other words, calcium should be slightly higher than phosphorus, and that balance is often more important than the absolute amounts of either mineral. The right balance supports strong bones and overall health. So where does this imbalance come from? One of the most common reasons is an all-meat diet. At first glance, it sounds perfectly logical. Cats are carnivores, so feeding meat should be ideal, right? The problem is that muscle meat is not nutritionally complete on its own. Chicken, beef, rabbit, and pork contain large amounts of phosphorus but very little calcium. The calcium to phosphorus ratio may be as low as 1 to 15, meaning there is about 15 times more phosphorus than calcium. In the wild, cats do not eat muscle meat alone. They consume the entire prey animal, including bones and organs. Bones provide calcium, while muscle tissue provides phosphorus. Together, they create the balance that nature intended. The body must keep blood calcium levels within a very narrow range. Why is this so important? We'll explore the answer in the next videos. And now, let's look at how the body keeps calcium levels exceptionally stable and what price it is willing to pay to achieve that. When calcium in the blood drops, even slightly, 4 tiny glands in the neck, the parathyroid glands, immediately respond. They release a hormone called parathyroid hormone, or PTH. PTH is a powerful signal. It does 3 things simultaneously. First, PTH signals the kidneys to retain calcium instead of excreting it in urine. Second, it activates vitamin D in the kidneys, which increases calcium absorption from the gut. And finally, and most importantly, it activates osteoclasts, the cells responsible for breaking down bone tissue. They start dissolving the bone matrix, releasing calcium stored there into the bloodstream. This is called bone resorption. When phosphorus overload in the diet is constant, PTH levels stay permanently high. This triggers continuous, non-stop bone breakdown. Day after day, bone density drops, the hard outer shell thins, and the internal structure crumbles. In growing kittens, the consequences are particularly devastating. Their bones fail to mineralize and turn soft, almost like rubber. Overworked by this endless emergency, the parathyroid glands enlarge, leading to a condition known as nutritional secondary hyperparathyroidism. Initially, the clinical signs of the disease are subtle. The kitten becomes weak and lethargic. Growth slows down. As the bones lose their strength, bone pain develops. The kitten may become reluctant to move, develop an abnormal gait, or start limping. As bone resorption continues, the skeleton becomes increasingly fragile. In severe cases, even normal activity can lead to pathological fractures. What should be strong, growing bone becomes soft and fragile. Diagnosing nutritional secondary hyperparathyroidism requires more than a single test. First, look at what the kitten is eating: commercial or homemade, the exact diet, brand, and any supplements. In many classic cases, the diet itself provides the key to the diagnosis. Then look at the clinical signs. Affected kittens may develop lameness, reluctance to move, weakness, and painful bones. They may cry when handled, and in severe cases, pathological fractures or skeletal deformities can occur. Blood work can be helpful, but it can also be misleading. Remember, PTH works continuously to maintain calcium levels in the blood, so even in advanced disease, blood calcium may remain within the normal range. Phosphorus may be elevated, and alkaline phosphatase can also increase, reflecting increased bone activity. A specific PTH assay may provide additional evidence. But radiography is often the single most informative diagnostic tool. Reduced bone density, cortical thinning, fractures, and skeletal deformities can be clearly detected on X-rays. The cornerstone of treatment is dietary correction. The diet should provide a proper calcium to phosphorus balance and meet the nutritional needs of a growing kitten. If fractures or severe bone weakness are present, strict rest is essential. Limiting activity helps prevent further injury and gives the weakened bones time to heal. In some cases, short-term calcium supplementation may be used to replenish depleted stores. However, supplementation should always be carefully controlled by a veterinarian because excessive calcium can also be harmful. Regular veterinary monitoring and follow-up imaging can help assess bone healing and recovery. With early diagnosis and appropriate treatment, most kittens have a very good chance of recovering and rebuilding strong, healthy bones. Nutritional secondary hyperparathyroidism is a striking example of how a well-intentioned choice, feeding fresh, natural meat, can cause serious harm when it's not nutritionally complete. It's not about bad owners. It's about a gap in knowledge, and that gap is easy to close. Kittens need balance, calcium and phosphorus in the right ratio, a diet that supports their extraordinary growth rate. Whether that comes from a well-formulated commercial food or a carefully balanced homemade diet, the principle is the same. Feed complete, feed balanced from day one. If you work with cats, own cats, or know someone who does, share this video, because the kitten that won't walk tomorrow may simply be the kitten that's eating only chicken breast today. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more veterinary content. We cover animal medicine, clinical cases, and the science behind everyday decisions in veterinary practice.